They tried to cancel Kevin for the Diddy parties. They hurled allegations at him. Kevin was at a bunch of Diddy parties, but in his defense, it was only because Diddy thought he was 10. Kevin even hosted a record release party for P. Diddy. There was a record number of releases. On the bed, in the pool, on the floor, everywhere but the hose. But I want to be clear. Just because Kevin went to Diddy parties does not mean he did something wrong. The fact that he gets all quiet when you bring it up, that means he did something wrong.
Katt Williams has people buzzing after suggesting Kevin Hart may have unintentionally revealed far more than he meant to during Netflix's headline-making roast. What started as a night built for sharp jokes and celebrity jabs quickly shifted into something much more awkward. Everything changed the moment Diddy's name came up. Up to that point, the audience was expecting the usual roast energy, insults, surprises, and big laughs. Instead, the room suddenly felt tense when Kevin Hart acknowledged that he had attended one of Diddy's parties. That admission landed hard because online speculation had already been swirling for months about which famous names had ever been linked, photographed, or seen around the music mogul. Across social media, old pictures, party footage, and past celebrity encounters had been picked apart non-stop. Every appearance had been examined in detail, and viewers were already on high alert.
Diddy's 50th birthday video from 5 years ago is packed with faces you wouldn't believe. Get ready to be shocked.
Happy birthday to me!
Kevin appeared to be trying to shut down the chatter once and for all. Ironically, his response may have fueled even more attention. While reacting on stage, Hart pushed back at Katt Williams directly and declared, "I went to one party, and the only reason Katt knew I was there is because he was there." Instantly, the entire crowd reacted. Laughter broke out in some parts of the room, while others seemed genuinely caught off guard by what had just been said. Within moments, the clip was everywhere, spreading across the internet and turning a comedy event into one of the most talked about celebrity moments of the year.
The clip exploded across TikTok, X, YouTube, and Instagram before people could even figure out what they had just watched. What pushed the moment into overdrive was when it happened. By then, Diddy's legal issues had already sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Long-standing celebrity relationships were being re-examined from a completely different angle. Old red carpet appearances, backstage moments, and party videos suddenly came roaring back online. Even footage that once looked ordinary was now being picked apart by millions of viewers, hunting for awkward details, strange energy, or signs they may have missed the first time.
Kevin Hart's Diddy joke at the BET Awards made some guests really uncomfortable.
I'm shutting down the idea of after parties. No after parties tonight. None. Take your asses home after this. That's why I did it on a Monday. I did it on a Monday. People got to go to work tomorrow. No after parties. That's where shit gets slippery at them goddamn after parties. Okay? We're learning a lot about people, ain't we? We're learning a lot. Take your asses home.
Once Kevin Hart acknowledged he had been at one of those gatherings, the online reaction intensified instantly. At that point, the conversation was no longer just about stand-up or entertainment. People started wondering how many famous names had ties to these private Hollywood circles and whether certain stars knew far more than they had ever publicly shared. Soon, fans were revisiting old interviews, award show clips, and even throwaway jokes about Diddy, trying to piece together a bigger story, whether the connections were real or not. Still, the biggest joke came from Katt Williams. Before Kevin Hart even stepped up to the microphone, Katt had already taken the Netflix roast stage with years of unresolved friction hanging in the air between them. Because of that history, the crowd could feel that something explosive might be on the way. In recent years, Katt had become known for speaking bluntly about Hollywood power dynamics and the way the industry operates. Katt Williams has built a reputation on saying the things most stars would never dare say out loud. Time after time, his interviews explode online because audiences feel he voices the uncomfortable topics other comedians avoid completely.
That's exactly why all eyes were on him during the roast of Kevin Hart. The second he took the mic, people expected a risky joke, and he delivered almost immediately. With a packed room watching and Netflix streaming it live, Katt aimed straight at rumors about Kevin Hart showing up at Diddy's parties.
Hello, Kevin.
Hello, Katt.
I'm surprised they invited me. That's how little star power you have. They had to start inviting your enemies. I said, I hate him. They said, come anyway.
His first punchline landed hard. Katt joked that simply attending one of Diddy's parties did not automatically mean Kevin had done anything wrong. Laughter erupted, but it came with a layer of surprise. The crowd knew he had already stepped into dangerous territory. What happened next pushed the moment even further. Katt followed with a sharper line, saying that if Kevin suddenly goes quiet when a subject comes up, that might suggest something is off. Instantly, the energy in the room shifted. A few celebrities laughed in that tense, uncertain way people do when they are not sure how far a joke is about to go. Others looked plainly uncomfortable. Viewers at home picked up on it right away too. This no longer felt like a routine roast setup. It felt like one of those moments that might carry more weight than a typical comedy bit. Within minutes, the clip was everywhere. Social media lit up with reactions as fans argued over whether Katt was just doing what great roasters do or hinting at something more serious beneath the joke.
Kevin once said if his son was gay, he would take a dollhouse and hit him over the head with it, which is arguably the gayest way to abuse a child. They tried to cancel him for being homophobic, and I don't get it. I'm saying the guy who's obsessed with shopping sprees and fitness, always surrounded by 10 dudes and Chelsea Handler and oiled up half Samoan bodybuilders and a vegan restaurant and bought yoga pants. You think that guy is homophobic?
The friction between Katt and Kevin didn't start here. For years, their clash has played out through interviews, stand-up sets, and public remarks, building a rivalry audiences already knew well. Katt has regularly questioned Kevin's fast-track success in Hollywood, while Kevin has usually dismissed those shots in public and kept moving.
Given that background, it didn't take long for fans to assume Katt's latest comments carried a deeper message. Meanwhile, Diddy's legal situation had already put the public on high alert, especially when it came to celebrities seen anywhere near that orbit. In that atmosphere, viewers weren't hearing casual punchlines anymore. They were listening as if every line might reveal something important. Almost instantly, TikTok users started dissecting the moment piece by piece. Clips were slowed down, replayed, and analyzed for every glance, pause, and reaction from Kevin and the crowd. Over on YouTube, commentary channels jumped in with theory videos, arguing that Katt was hinting at private Hollywood behavior right out in the open. A lot of the online buzz centered on Katt's delivery. Some viewers said he seemed especially sure of himself while telling those jokes, and that confidence only pushed the speculation even further. Since Katt has spent years crafting an image as someone unafraid to call out influential people in the industry.
Did you watch the roast of Kevin Hart? Did you watch the roast of Kevin Hart?
I saw a clip.
Did you see Katt Williams?
I just saw a clip, a small clip of it.
So is it fair to say that Katt Williams and Kevin Hart, it's not like
they have not been friends or allies?
If you remember Katt Williams' most popular podcast 2 years ago that he did with Shannon Sharp, that went viral. One of the guys that he was talking about was who?
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
Called him out.
So here's Katt Williams talking about Kevin Hart and Diddy.
Plenty of fans were convinced there had to be at least some real meaning buried in the comedy. Still, almost no one was prepared for what happened next, because Kevin Hart's response took the entire conversation in a completely different direction. By the time Kevin Hart stepped out for the final roast segment, the whole room felt different. Earlier, the night had played like a straightforward comedy show. Now, it had shifted into something far more tense and personal. Everyone in the building knew Katt Williams had already delivered one of the biggest viral moments of the evening, and all eyes were on Kevin to see if he would brush it off or confront it in public.
He didn't wait. Looking visibly irritated, Kevin tackled the Diddy rumors right away during one of the sharpest exchanges of the roast. He blurted out that he had never been to any Diddy parties, then immediately walked that back. Instead, he admitted he had gone to one. The room reacted at once. In trying to shut down the speculation, he had also confirmed, in front of everyone, that he attended at least one event tied to Diddy. What happened next pushed the moment even further. Rather than leaving it there, Kevin turned straight toward Katt Williams and claimed Katt had been at that very same gathering. He shouted that Katt was there too, that he saw him, and that Katt saw him back. Kevin even added that Katt told him to stay quiet. That single line sent the whole story into overdrive.
Everybody has said tonight that I can't act. Kevin cannot act.
What I want you to do is go back and look at that moment where I shook Katt's hand and I looked him in the eye and I said, I just want us to be friends. Some of the best fucking acting that I've ever did in my career. I did not mean one word of what I said. Fuck Katt Williams. Fuck Katt Williams.
Inside the venue, the crowd erupted with a mix of disbelief and laughter. Online, the clip spread instantly. Social media grabbed the exchange, reposted it everywhere, and turned it into the moment people could not stop talking about. Within hours, the conversation had completely shifted. Online trending pages exploded with hashtags tying together Kevin Hart, Katt Williams, Diddy, and Netflix. Across social media, people argued over whether Kevin made the backlash worse by responding with visible frustration instead of brushing off the joke. To some viewers, that reaction came across as overly defensive. From another perspective, he may have simply been exhausted by non-stop online rumors that had grown far beyond reality.
At the same time, many of Katt Williams' supporters insisted Kevin's response only added fuel to speculation that was already spreading. One thing matters here. Neither Kevin Hart nor Katt Williams has been accused of any criminal misconduct connected to Diddy. For years, major figures in music, film, and comedy attended industry parties and high-profile events long before any legal claims involving Diddy were made public. Being present at a celebrity gathering does not equal participation in illegal activity. Still, once the internet becomes obsessed with a storyline, verified facts can quickly get buried under guesswork. That pattern played out in full here. Before long, older clips of Kevin Hart making lighthearted remarks about Diddy started circulating again. Viewers began digging through interviews, award show moments, and footage from celebrity events, trying to spot anything they could frame as suspicious. Looking back, even ordinary, harmless exchanges were suddenly being examined through the shadow of Diddy's legal troubles. In that atmosphere, Kevin's emotional response didn't calm the conversation down. If anything, it gave the online frenzy even more momentum. Kevin's remarks didn't calm anything down. They pushed the online frenzy into overdrive. As soon as the Netflix roast wrapped, the internet launched a full-scale search through years of celebrity footage tied to Diddy. Across TikTok, YouTube commentary channels, and X, old clips started resurfacing nonstop. Red carpets, interview sets, yacht parties, award shows, private Hollywood events, suddenly everything was back under the microscope. In some videos, celebrities were seen smiling and joking next to Diddy at lavish parties. In others, viewers zeroed in on tense interviews and unusual exchanges that, in light of recent events, seemed far more unsettling than they once did. Before long, the obsession spread everywhere. People began dissecting body language, facial expressions, and casual remarks that had previously gone unnoticed. One older interview featuring Diddy exploded online, with many viewers calling his demeanor deeply uncomfortable to sit through.
Celebrities who attended these parties have mixed feelings looking back. Paris Hilton called the first Hamptons party iconic, while Martha Stewart remembered the sight of everyone in white as stunning. However, not everyone had equal access. Some guests were allowed into exclusive areas while others were kept out. As the night progressed, younger attendees were asked to leave, hinting at a more adult atmosphere after dark.
That clip alone triggered huge debate. Some argued it pointed to something more serious beneath the surface, while others believed people were reading today's controversies back into moments from years ago. Soon, that became the internet's default approach. A nervous laugh was treated like a clue. Anyone who had ever appeared at a major party suddenly became a target for speculation. Online sleuths slowed footage down frame by frame, searching for reactions they thought they had missed. Commentary creators turned the entire situation into ongoing content, feeding an endless cycle of suspicion, analysis, and viral theories. Whole videos started popping up over the smallest moments, details that may not have meant anything at all. Plenty of people began to believe Hollywood had buried troubling truths for a long time, while others saw it as social media taking speculation way too far, pushed along by algorithms, clips, and non-stop viral momentum. No matter which side viewers chose, one shift was impossible to miss. People were suddenly looking at celebrity culture through an entirely new lens. For a long time, Diddy's parties were seen as the ultimate sign of status, power, and access. An invitation suggested you had truly arrived in the entertainment business. After Diddy's legal collapse, though, those same high-profile events were no longer viewed the same way. What once looked glamorous quickly became tied to doubt, scrutiny, and controversy.
Once Kevin Hart openly acknowledged that he had attended one of those parties, even if it happened only a single time, His name was instantly pulled into the expanding online conversation. As Diddy's legal problems grew more severe, the spotlight only became harsher, especially with the back and forth involving Kevin Hart and Katt Williams still driving major headlines. Why did that moment land with such force? It came down to a dramatic change in public perception. Not long before, stories about Diddy's celebrity gatherings were treated as ordinary Hollywood chatter, the kind of insider gossip people discussed and moved on from. His events had long been considered iconic across the industry, drawing major attention and reinforcing the image of a world built on fame, luxury, and exclusivity. For years, Diddy's guest lists pulled in nearly everyone with star power: actors, musicians, athletes, influencers, executives, and comedians from across the entertainment world. At one point, simply showing up at one of those events was seen as proof that you had made it.
Like, what the fuck is going on? How many guys were on video saying, ain't no party like a Diddy party? LeBron?
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, how about Ashton Kutcher?
Diddy party stories. Man, that was like some weird memory lane.
All these people, like, you guys all went, you didn't see nothing?
Yeah.
Donnell went? Yeah. Did he? Of course he did. And then Dave's there too, and then Russell Simmons too. Oh boy.
Isn't there a video with Kamala?
She was at one of the Diddy parties?
That image changed fast once his legal problems became impossible to ignore, and those once coveted connections started to look very different. In 2025, Sean Diddy Combs was found guilty on 2 prostitution-related transportation charges involving 2 women. The verdict came after a closely watched federal trial that drew intense public attention and dominated headlines. He was later sentenced to 50 months behind bars, ordered to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines, and placed under supervised release once his prison term is completed. The outcome sent a jolt through the entertainment industry. For decades, Diddy had been regarded as one of the most influential names in music, business, and celebrity culture. Seeing someone with that level of power and reach face a conviction of this scale stunned many people both inside and outside the industry.
Still, the case did not end with across-the-board convictions. He was cleared of several of the most serious accusations, including racketeering conspiracy and trafficking-related allegations. Through his attorneys, Diddy has continued to reject many of the claims against him, maintaining that some accusations were overstated, untrue, or driven by financial motives. Even so, despite the mixed verdict, the court of public opinion had already begun shifting in a major way. Everything changed fast. Within what felt like a single night, older clips connected to Diddy began surfacing across the internet non-stop. Archived interviews, party videos, backstage moments, award show appearances, and long-forgotten celebrity encounters were suddenly being examined like clues in a massive online investigation. Viewers started digging back through years of entertainment history, rewatching familiar moments, and asking whether warning signs had been overlooked. That charged environment helps explain why Kevin Hart's joke at the roast landed with such force. In a different time, casually mentioning attendance at a famous party probably would have passed without much reaction. Now, however, even a loose link to Diddy is enough to trigger major headlines and intense public scrutiny. The discussion only grew louder once the documentary arrived. Netflix's Sean the Reckoning introduced a new level of attention to the controversy. Helmed by Alexandria Stapleton and supported by executive producer 50 Cent, whose long-running conflict with Diddy is already well known.
We're losing.
Netflix releasing never-before-seen video of Sean Diddy Combs filmed just days before his arrest on charges of sex trafficking and racketeering in 2024. The footage is part of a 4-part docuseries, Sean Combs The Reckoning, premiering Tuesday.
How did you get that footage of Diddy?
I figured most journalists would not disclose their sources.
Does he know y'all have this in the doc?
I would doubt he knows.
The project set out to explore the allegations more deeply, along with the industry culture around them.
What made the series stand apart from routine celebrity reporting was its emphasis on voices claiming direct access to Diddy's private world. Interviews featured former associates, people from his early life, insiders from the business side, and others connected to past allegations. That approach gave the documentary a different tone, shifting it away from gossip and toward first-hand accounts. Among the parts that sparked the most conversation was the reveal of footage the public had never seen before. The film reportedly included private footage of Diddy in conversation with his attorneys not long before the federal indictment was announced. Beyond that reveal, the documentary pushed a much bigger point. Coverage of the controversy had been flattened into clickbait, punchlines, and meme culture. According to the filmmakers, public attention drifted away from the deeper issue. Rather than seriously questioning how celebrity power operates behind the scenes, many people focused on jokes, trending phrases, and viral reactions. As a result, larger concerns about influence, wealth, and insider access were left hanging without real answers. That message only made the online reaction even louder. Certain viewers saw the documentary as proof that top stars can become heavily shielded within powerful entertainment networks. Meanwhile, critics argued the series was doing the very thing it condemned, using sensational framing while calling out sensationalism. No matter which side people landed on, the fallout had clearly outgrown Diddy alone. What started as scrutiny around one figure quickly widened into something much larger. Fans and commentators began looking far beyond music, turning their attention toward athletes, actors, executives, comedians, and even well-known international figures.
Yet the web of connections linked to Diddy didn't end there. Just as the story seemed like it had reached its peak, new reports mentioning alleged ties to the royal family drove the discussion into an entirely different arena. Recent claims published under the title The Rise and Fall of the House of York introduced allegations involving Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess. Long before today's headlines, reports began surfacing about alleged ties between Sarah Ferguson, Duchess of York, and Diddy that supposedly stretched back to the early 2000s. Public discussion around the book claims the two may have moved through the same rarefied world of celebrity parties, private gatherings, and invitation-only social circles. Accounts shared from those reports point to upscale travel, elite hotel visits, private yacht celebrations, and encounters among wealthy international figures. One especially eye-catching claim says Ferguson may have attended Diddy's well-known white party events in Europe, including gatherings hosted on enormous yachts filled with celebrities, major business names, and powerful public personalities. Another report went even further, suggesting Diddy's fragrance launch for Unforgivable was influenced in part by conversations about Ferguson's personal taste in how a man should smell. That detail gained extra attention because in 2006, Diddy introduced Unforgivable and reportedly said Sarah had inspired the scent through her preferences. Additional allegations describe meetings tied to high-end travel across Europe and Africa in the mid-2000s. Those claims also reference stays in lavish hotels, including mention of an ultra-luxury 7-star property.
Even with all the online excitement, one point matters above all else. These accounts remain unverified allegations. Sarah Ferguson has not publicly confirmed the claims being discussed from the book. Even so, the reaction online was immediate. Across the internet, people quickly locked on to the story, fueling fresh curiosity about what really happened behind the scenes. The possibility that someone linked to the British royal family might have moved through the same high-profile circles as controversial entertainment figures was explosive on its own. Headlines seized on it immediately. In an instant, the story seemed far bigger than a controversy involving music moguls and Hollywood stars. What emerged looked more like a glimpse into a much wider network of influence, one that appeared to connect entertainment, politics, extreme wealth, fashion, and even royalty. That shift changed the conversation online almost overnight. Across social media, users began focusing on how celebrity life can overlap with billionaire circles, lavish private events, and tightly controlled gatherings kept well outside public view.
Diddy's 50th birthday video from 5 years ago is packed with faces you wouldn't believe. Get ready to be shocked.
Happy birthday to me!
Viral posts started asking a bigger question. How many powerful names from completely different industries may have crossed paths behind closed doors for years without anyone noticing? For some, none of this felt new. They argued that elite social worlds have always existed, and that the public is only now paying closer attention to how those networks operate. Others saw the renewed discussion as a window into a hidden culture, where status, money, influence, and access may have created insulated spaces far removed from everyday life. Because all of this was unfolding during the peak of Diddy's legal controversy, each new claim spread online at incredible speed. Interest kept growing, curiosity intensified. Before long, many viewers were asking the same unsettling question. Just how far did these celebrity networks really reach? The Kevin Hart roast.
What started as comedy quickly turned into something far bigger. Because it hit a nerve audiences have been feeling for years, a deepening mistrust of celebrity culture and the elite spaces surrounding entertainment. As time passed, social media transformed the way the public sees famous people. Stars are no longer viewed as distant, polished icons protected by carefully crafted public relations. Now, millions of viewers spend hours studying interviews, live streams, podcasts, old clips, and leaked stories, looking for contradictions, patterns, or details that do not quite add up. That shift helps explain why someone like Katt Williams carries so much weight online. He presents himself as a voice from within the industry who is still willing to question Hollywood's power structure in public, whether people support his views or not. For many viewers, that outsider energy is compelling. It feeds the idea that someone close to the system may finally say the quiet part out loud and reveal conversations ordinary audiences were never meant to hear. Everything intensified once the Diddy scandal took over online discussion. Suddenly, social media users began linking old interviews, celebrity connections, and uncomfortable moments into massive theory-driven narratives. Even a brief facial expression on a red carpet could be treated like a major clue. A joke from years earlier could resurface overnight and spread again under a completely different interpretation. TikTok and YouTube poured fuel on that momentum. Entire channels started forming around the analysis of celebrity behavior, turning every clip, pause, and reaction into material for endless public debate. Clip by clip, online creators began building a much bigger narrative. A wave of posts argued that Hollywood had functioned like an exclusive inner circle for years. Meanwhile, other uploads went further, suggesting certain stars may have known much more than they ever revealed in public. Not everyone accepted that framing. Plenty of observers cautioned that online culture was becoming consumed by guesswork and dramatic assumptions. A photo, a party invitation, or a public appearance with Diddy does not equal guilt, and many well-known names linked to him socially have never faced any accusation at all. Still, the internet rarely rewards patience. Strong reactions, unanswered questions, and controversy travel faster than careful analysis ever could. Since many viewers already distrust wealthy celebrity networks, even shaky claims can gain traction quickly when they sound sensational. That is exactly why Kevin Hart's response drew so much attention. For a large part of the audience, his irritation seemed real and understandable. Inside conspiracy-focused spaces, however, that same emotion was treated as something suspicious. Once people began arguing over whether Kevin had revealed more than he meant to, the conversation exploded beyond anyone's control. What made the moment hit so hard was not only his actual statement, but the intensity behind it. As soon as he raised his voice and strongly denied being at Diddy's parties, many viewers believed the reaction itself gave the controversy even more momentum. Instead of shutting the story down, his tone may have pushed it into an entirely new phase. Katt Williams' original punchline might have landed, but Kevin Hart's response gave it a much bigger life than the joke ever had on its own. Rather than letting the remark fade away, his visible frustration turned the reaction into the real headline. Almost immediately, people online began circling the same idea. If the joke truly did not matter, why did Kevin seem so affected by it?
Many fans defended him, saying the irritation made sense. For months, the internet had been pulling celebrities into scandal talk and wild theories that had little to do with reality. From that view, Kevin may have simply been exhausted by watching old connections and past relationships get twisted into something far more dramatic than they were. Critics, however, saw something else entirely. To them, his body language came across as tense, guarded, and clearly uncomfortable. A number of viewers even argued that his anger gave Katt Williams' comments extra weight, fair or not, because it made the whole subject seem more sensitive. The situation became even messier during the roast. At one point, Kevin joked that acting like his feud with Katt Williams was over ranked among the strongest performances of his career. The crowd laughed, yet that single line only sparked more speculation. Social media quickly split into new debates, with some convinced Kevin was still holding on to real frustration, while others believed the whole exchange was nothing more than a staged comedy bit. Just when people thought they understood the moment, Kevin suddenly changed his tone again. In front of the crowd, Kevin Hart gave Katt credit just for being there and announced that their years of tension had come to an end.
He made it sound heartfelt, saying the feud was finished and that from that day on, he and Katt were friends moving forward. That sudden turn instantly split the internet. A lot of people took the moment at face value, seeing it as two comedians finally putting old issues behind them in public. Plenty of others weren't convinced. To them, the reconciliation felt bigger, flashier, and possibly designed to fuel the show and generate headlines for Netflix. No matter where people landed, the reaction was impossible to ignore. Comedy, controversy, shared history, and visible emotion all collided at once, creating the kind of moment that spreads everywhere. Viewers kept replaying it because nothing about it felt easy to predict. Nobody could fully tell what was part of the act, what came from real feelings, or how much truth was hiding beneath the punchlines. That uncertainty is exactly why the story keeps growing. What started as a celebrity roast built on jokes and sharp insults suddenly opened the door to much larger conversations. Attention quickly shifted toward Hollywood party culture, celebrity privacy, and the widening fallout tied to Diddy's legal controversies. Katt Williams' remarks helped push Kevin Hart into one of the most heavily discussed public reactions of the year. In the process, the internet transformed a comedy special into something far bigger, turning it into a full-scale deep dive into old rumors, industry connections, and unanswered questions. Old party clips, famous friendships, and long-running Hollywood rumors have pushed this story back into the spotlight. Even with all the noise, one fact stands above everything else. There is no known evidence linking Kevin Hart or Katt Williams to any criminal conduct involving Diddy. Most of what's spreading online comes from guesses, fan theories, and social media users trying to connect dots that have not been officially confirmed. Right now, public opinion moves incredibly fast, often outrunning the actual facts. Archived videos keep reappearing, past celebrity ties are being picked apart again, and every reaction from a public figure is treated like a clue by countless people watching from the outside and trying to make sense of Hollywood. A single joke can suddenly reopen years of rumored friction, and in some cases, the backlash or response creates an even bigger headline than the original claim. More vintage footage seems to surface every week, and each new connection adds another layer to the conversation. Because of that, plenty of people think this situation is far from over and may be just entering a new phase. Share your take in the comments. If you like this recap, hit the like button to help support the channel. Subscribe for more updates and switch on notifications so you're always first to know when a new video drops. See you in the next one.